We're going to start with music.
What?
All right?
That's Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer. You don't think that smile is pleasant?
No.
It's satisfying.
That smile is perfect. Stop laughing at him.
I think you secretly are extremely prejudiced against people who look different from you.
I don't know. That's pretty close to Joshua.
Dang. Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wiseworks podcast.
Hi.
We're here again.
I'll keep going through
White
this.
guys in a room doing a podcast.
Is there really no sound in space? Is it because there's no pressure?
Yeah, but there's lasers. Pew pew. If you see like the Death Star explosion, it'd be like. Now there might be a sound if you're on a planet. Well, I don't even know.
Where does the sound waves go?
I've never gotten to the top 3.
You gotta start picking better, man.
I pick good. You just don't like them.
You pick
I
two?
pick good. I pick them. I pick good. Look, Daddy.
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wing.
That's right, dear.
Dude, I can't take it.
Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wiseworks podcast. Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wiseworks pod. Now I'm doing it. Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wiseworks podcast, all you guys, gals, geeks, and goofballs.
What threw you off?
I heard you clicking over there.
Sorry. I was trying to get out of it.
And then I realized I was like, oh, I started way too early.
No, you didn't start too early.
Yeah, we usually switch to this screen before we open, don't we?
It doesn't really matter.
Oh, okay.
The edit rolls as the edit rolls. You know what I'm saying?
Do we talk about it?
Talk about what?
The elephant in the room.
Yeah, we should.
I think we
okay.
definitely need to address it. Wait. Do you want this to be known
I don't.
publicly?
No, we
should. We should talk about it.
We're gonna talk about it.
We should talk about it.
We're gonna further talk about it and investigate it later on a midnight special, which you'll get into it and you'll understand what I'm talking about.
We've gained some upsetting news.
Okay. I got a text pretty early yesterday morning.
Yes. Our sister
texted us. It was really bad news. We were all in a group text. She, I guess for school, has been going through Ancestry.com and decided to get a DNA test where she figures out what is her heritage.
And if you are a fan of the podcast, you kind of get an idea for where this is going.
Now, she did it. We did not do it. And hopefully we are going to do it later on in a midnight special. But she was only 1% Italian.
Which makes
1%. Out of 100, 1%.
Which makes it super likely that you're pretty far down there, if not 1% or lower.
I'm still a good little Italian boy, 1% or not. Keep in mind that there are billions of people in this world, and being 1% out of 100 of anything with billions of people, that's
pretty good odds.
That's
I was thinking
percentage.
more like
at least
20,
it wasn't registering
30%.
Okay, think about this though. We've been told our whole life that we have a good amount of German in us. No German.
No, that's what the top one is. The European.
No, it's not. The top one is not German. That is Northwestern Europe, which is Scotland, Ireland,
No,
England.
Northwestern Europe is Germany.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
My guy.
Scotland and England are on the same island.
Yeah, but it's right next to
Europe.
Europe, yes.
It's the
United Kingdom.
Yeah, but not Europe.
Northwestern.
That's what
Doesn't
that
say
percent-
Germany. It would say Germany if it was Germany.
No, I think that's what it is. Germany.
I don't think so. Because it specifically does say Scottish and Irish.
What it means is
clearly is.
There's
German.
there's a lot of
German.
like different areas in Northwestern Europe where they can't get an exact pinpoint, but for the most part it's probably like German.
It's German. That's what it is.
Now, you guys wait till the podcast?
I know, because I clearly knew this, and we did discuss this.
Yeah,
and you didn't.
I
didn't know
wasn't.
That's what you were thinking. I didn't know that's what you didn't realize.
I literally said
when you were
this.
telling me about this, I thought it was.
So you knew
I
I was
thought
saying-
it was a slip of the tongue.
No.
A
Slip of the tongue. North.
But now you're claiming that England and Ireland and
England
Scotland
and
is
northeastern
Europe.
No, not northwestern. Northwestern.
Yeah, that wouldn't even be relatively close. Because northeastern Europe would be close to England. Northwestern Europe would not be.
Yeah. Are you facing the camera? Northwestern.
I'm facing a map. There's a map in front of me.
Northwestern's over there.
England's
right
here.
England's right here. And then facing the camera, you got Scotland and
No,
Ireland.
you're right. Yeah. No, you got me thinking wrong.
Look, I'm telling you, I don't think Germany's considered northwestern. Now, it is north-ish, but not that north. If you're talking
Josh,
about
could you
North
do, like,
Europe,
No,
Okay.
it is.
Germany is central. Look at that.
Yeah, but this is
No,
Europe.
that's clearly.
Where's Germany at?
Right there.
That's
That's central.
That's northwestern Europe.
Well, what's all of the islands? This is where London is. It's an island, United Kingdom.
Yeah, but
That's
it's
even
not
more
Europe.
western.
No, it clearly is what it is.
You got Sweden
Could
further
you do
north.
like a quick internet search of
What's considered northwestern Europe?
Yeah.
Northwestern.
Yeah, what regions are northwestern Europe? Because I'm really curious, because specifically Germany, I was told, and there's no Germany on the list. However, there is Irish, Scottish, Swedish,
Yeah, but your
Denmark,
last name is
Joseph,
Wise.
okay, right here.
Norway.
The
what?
north. It has a map for northwestern European, and it has a big group of people: the Republic Islands,
Can I see a
Belgium,
picture?
Netherlands, Luxembourg, Germany,
Ugh.
Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and Iceland. So
Okay,
Sweden
we do
and
have
Germany.
Swedish, Denmark, and Norway in us also, as well as 1%
Germany.
Italy. But the cool thing is, that might be a mix of things. What I got really psyched about was the specifications of Irish and Scottish, because there was specifics on that.
That's good information, but we're not here to talk about that.
No, we'll talk about it on a midnight special.
We're here to talk about how you guys are only like 1% Italian.
We're also 1% Egyptian.
Well, we don't know. That was our sisters.
Look,
We have not done it yet.
it's going to be pretty darn similar.
I think
No,
it's going to be pretty close.
I think I have a lot more than that.
What if
How?
you had 0.5?
I know. I know.
What if it comes back as not registering as Italian in you?
When I make pasta, I don't just make pasta and be like, this is good pasta. I say, it's a good pasta.
So
Do
what comes out of your mouth?
When you're just whipping up those butter noodles. There's something in Josh, in his gut, that's going.
Yeah.
Just constantly.
There's a little
There's a
Italian
man
boy.
with a mustache that can't separate his fingers.
Pull the picture up. Do we
This
have the
makes
picture?
sense.
What?
Put the picture back
This-
up with the mustache.
No.
This really makes sense. You can't grow a big, healthy Italian mustache. It makes sense. You know, you're only 1%.
Makes sense. Well, I always wondered why my beard was red.
Yeah, you got like English and Irish and Scottish.
Mm-hmm. That's me.
And that's all.
German.
Yeah, that's all like Northwestern Europe. Plus, you got German.
The German wasn't even specified. It could be anywhere. What was specified was Swedish, Denmark, Scottish, and Irish.
That's because a lot of the blood around Germany and those European countries are very similar.
Very similar. But you got someone like Esther, who is, you look at her and she lets you know she's German if
You're like,
the topic
white.
comes up.
Like,
But
You're
no,
like
I
white.
see. Freaking,
You know,
she's very
I
clearly.
can't even say my pickup line anymore.
What's your pickup line?
I don't know if I could say on the podcast.
Say it.
Oh, wait, maybe not. Yeah,
Is
no.
it
no,
vulgar?
No. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
I know what you're talking about now.
Okay.
Don't say your pickup line because that's not a pickup line.
That's just offensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, don't say things that are offensive. Hey, could I bring up something real quick? We had a video that popped off this past weekend. I want to just say this.
Yeah.
If any people watch this and heard or come from watching that Elvis reaction video,
Yeah.
I want you to know and if you haven't seen it, you can go watch it. I was not expressing my opinion on the thing.
Right.
And I'm not going to apologize for anything I said because what I said was true.
And yeah, and you shouldn't have to. You didn't say anything wrong.
And
or
also,
bad.
I literally started by saying I don't know a lot about Elvis.
Yeah.
What I do know about Elvis is in modern day, in some black communities, they are not fans of Elvis. And I did my research to double check. I'm still correct.
Yeah.
Still correct.
And look, I saw a comment that said the guy on the right doesn't know anything about Elvis. I never claimed to know anything about Elvis. I didn't say much in the video.
You didn't say much.
Except for just like saying some things.
Something
but I
you
never
did.
said, I was never like, Elvis was, let me tell y'all about Elvis.
One thing you did claim on the video
What did I say?
that I was off camera saying, nope, not true, is you claimed that Austin is way better looking than a young Elvis.
I stand by that.
No,
I went ahead and watched Elvis videos, like music videos, things of that nature, what was aired on TV, and pictures after the fact. And I'm telling you, he's good looking. But in my personal opinion, Austin, he's got more of that charmy look. He's a little better looking in my opinion.
The actor who's gonna play the guy
is
looks
a little better looking than the guy
who plays himself.
In my opinion.
Well,
this is my opinion. I'm allowed to have this opinion.
I don't think there's anything wrong with like a handsome actor playing
a handsome man.
Playing a handsome man.
Yeah.
Even if, some may consider him more handsome, it's like, okay, so that really just kind of adds to the legend.
Mm-hmm.
He was handsome, so we make him more handsome in the movie to kind of add that little bit of, this is a movie, it's not real life.
Yes.
Although you can't be like, no, Elvis was not that handsome. It's like, no, he's a good-looking dude.
No, of course he was. He was great looking. I'm just saying, I happen to think Austin might be a little more dreamy.
Yeah,
which is fine.
What are we opening with?
So we're opening with a little bit of Elden Ring. Now this is different than what we've done before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
A
lot different. So the reason we're opening with something that is video game related is Wyatt brought up the other day that George R. R. Martin helped
Mr. Martin
craft the story and the creative side about the game, behind the game.
The basically like the foundation lore of the game.
Okay.
So if you guys aren't familiar with Elden Ring, it is a video game that, you can purchase on the PC, on Xbox, the new Xbox, on the new PlayStation. And it falls under the family of a Souls game. There's been many Souls games. Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Demon Souls, Sekiro, a couple other ones. But they're very hard games, often with a lot of lore.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of lore.
They're dense.
But they're, for the most part, linear. They're not open world. But this is an open world game. It's got vast landscapes and continents and monsters and things that you can fight.
And you can travel throughout.
Yeah. So they had, I feel like they had to make the lore interesting.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
definitely.
you take some of the older games and it's a very linear path. You don't have to look at any of the lore to have fun with the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. You don't have to look at any of the lore to have fun with this game either.
Yeah.
But then you take a game like Sekiro, which was very linear story-wise. This one has story that you kind of have to complete.
Yeah.
But it's very spread out. You don't have to go to it, but you find yourself falling into it.
Okay.
From what I've watched of the game, I've watched quite a bit of the gameplay.
Yeah.
You'll just be exploring and you'll fall into the story.
Yeah, naturally.
Because you'll kind of find it as you explore.
Which they've spent a long time. How many years?
I want to say like 10.
10 years.
12.
2012,
Yeah.
2011, they've been spending on this game. So that, and we know that also, I guess it was kind of at the front of that, like years ago, was when they got Martin involved.
Well, I think he was writing for it. Not that much longer ago. Like not.
It wasn't
ago.
Before they even started crafting.
But it was, quite some years ago, like 8 years ago or something.
Yeah. Well, I don't think
at the time they were working on Sekiro, which is like a Japanese monster style Souls game.
I mean, the background or story element of games, just video games in general, has always been there's a lot of movies that have come out with video games. Right now, Paramount is doing Halo.
Yeah.
Because Halo, the game, was so interesting. So many people love Halo there's this beloved story with Halo that it's a show now.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think what they wanted to do with this, because Halo is extremely story driven. Souls games have always had the reputation of being incredibly difficult, just really hard to play. Bosses are hard, leveling is hard. You die and you have to go all the way back to a save point.
You got a real struggle through it.
And so I don't think lore is necessarily, even though there's a lot of it, it's not necessarily like the main focus of the game. But I think when they were coming up with this and they thought, this is going to be open world, how do we make this interesting? And that's to get somebody who knows how to write lore.
Yeah.
That's George Martin. He really knows how to write lore.
May I play this quick beginning of this clip? Just to hear his thoughts.
I've recently been a part of developing a video game. And it seems to me like it's sort of a natural fit for a fantasy fiction writer to work on a video game. How is that, different from what we know you for working on?
Well, it actually is considerably different. I've played some video games. I'm not a big video gamer, but the game is called the Elden Ring, and it's a sequel to a video game that came out a few years ago called Dark Souls, and it came out of Japan. My work on it was actually done years ago. These games, they're like movies. They take a long time to develop. Basically, they wanted a world created to set the game in. They wanted world building as a big factor in fantasy and science fiction. You're not only talking about the characters and the plot, but the setting is almost as important as everything else. Tolkien's Middle Earth, Robert E. Howard's Hyborian Age, the foundation universe of Isaac Asimov. I worked up fairly detailed background for them. And then they took it from there. So, it's been several years since I've last seen them, but they would come in periodically and show me some monsters they designed or the latest special effects or the cool things. But the game has been very slowly developing, and now it's coming out in January, I believe. So I'll be as excited as anybody else to see it.
So
not January.
So that was an interview done last summer. So that's interesting. So he hadn't seen them. What do you think it would be like if you were someone like him and you have trained yourself to become a master at these detailed story crafting?
Yeah.
Just skill across the board, whether it's writing books, writing scripts, writing characters, how they fit together. What would you think it would be like to be like, we're going to make a super awesome video game. We need awesome lore to go along with it. We want to utilize you because you're very skilled. You're one of the top in the world at the moment for that kind of craft.
I think this was probably extremely easy for him.
Let me just cut in here for a moment. I just want to tell you about our Patreon really quick. You can find the link in the description or you can search Wiseworks on Patreon. We do all kinds of stuff there. We do early access to podcasts and the Wacky Wonderful Show. We have exclusive weekly pre-show before we record any episodes every single week. We do like a 20-minute pre-show kind of mini podcast for patrons to enjoy. And we also sometimes occasionally have some watch party stuff that recently Wyatt and Josh has made for like watching through a film, and you can hear their commentary in the background. They crack jokes, they give insight, they have all kinds of fun, and we have that on Patreon kind of exclusively at this point for patrons. You also can get your name in the credits of the podcast and all kinds of cool things. All that to say, it's a fun time over there. I mean, there's all kinds of benefits if you enjoy Wiseworks entertainment content. So go check out the Patreon. Once again, links in the description. So let's go ahead and get back to the show.
I think this was probably extremely easy for him.
You think?
Because he loves writing lore. He's written thousands and thousands of pages of lore for Game of Thrones that nobody's ever seen. That's just part of the world. I think it'd be super easy for him to just sit down and be like, all right, they want me to write a script for this video game. And, just sit down and write lore.
Yeah.
And, because people who write lore, people who like writing lore, can connect it.
I know he did Game of Thrones and I love Game of Thrones, but where is Martin from?
No idea.
I think actually New Jersey. I think I watched a low quality documentary on YouTube about his life years ago, and I think it was either like Chicago or New Jersey or somewhere, and he fell in love with writing sci-fi early on. And after that's when he wrote a lot of comics, and he wrote mini sci-fi novels and everything. And it wasn't obviously until he's much older that he got into writing fantasy.
I think it's super easy for him to write. And it's really up to Miyazaki and his team to take the lore. I'm sure he just had a ball just writing, oh, this is connected to this, and this is connected to this.
And this is why this is connected to this.
And then they're just like, all right, let's spread this out, spread out the story throughout the world, and fill in the gaps with some of the stuff that we know.
For sure.
Some of the side quests, some of the NPCs that you meet. What would you guys think of playing something like that?
I'm just thinking about creating it and coding it and
don't think about that. Okay. You're gonna all right. This is what I would say. This is what I would say.
Complex.
I'm more like you. If I enjoy a creator and they enjoy playing a game, I want to watch them go on the quest. I'm like what he said. I'm not a big gamer. Played a few. Not a big one. Like, I've messed around with Halo 3, Halo 2, Halo Reach, Mario Kart.
Classic games.
And I'm not super into gaming. However, I can enjoy pretty heavily a creator that I like, a stream where they play a game that's fascinating to me.
Yeah. Every time I turn on the gameplay for this, there's always a new weapon. There's always a new spell. There's always a new boss. There's always a new secret. I mean, the guys I was watching, they went down to the bottom of the map and they were like, oh, look, there's a raggedy old tower, just a squat kind of tower. And they're like, oh, there's these guard NPCs. This is pretty typical, pretty standard. And they climb to the top of the tower as per usual. And they're like, oh, look, a chest. This is normal. And I haven't seen any mimic chests, which are the chests that'll open up. They have teeth in them. They'll eat you. But this random tower with this random chest.
At the bottom of the map.
Guarded by these low-level NPCs. They open it up. A cloud comes out and sucks you in and takes you to like the very top of the map. And there's this massive boss that you fight, and you get an incredible talisman if you beat him.
Oh, sick.
But
so it's a teleporter.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that stuff. You find this thing in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere, that'll take you hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet down into the earth. And there's this whole other like mini map area for you to explore and play on.
Sick.
What do you think the odds, or what do you think the more people called out after the Super Bowl or after this game came out the next day from work?
I think
I would say it's actually pretty high.
This and the Super Bowl are pretty tied tide. with
So you're
people calling out the
saying,
next
so
day.
you're saying people call out. So the release of this, or Monday after the Super Bowl,
Yeah,
where
people
people
are
were
like-
getting drunk, they were
Yeah,
enjoying
they're like,
partying the Super Bowl.
I'm not coming to work today.
I think because the Elden Ring's enjoyed across nations.
Mm-hmm.
The Super Bowl is an American sport.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
No, you don't think a bunch of dudes our age, like the majority of dudes our age, that maybe if they're single or whatever, you don't think they called off work for a solid 3 days?
I'm gonna be honest. If I had like an Xbox or a PS5,
You'd be calling out
and
work.
this game came out, and somebody's like, "This is a 60-hour game."
Now that I think about it, one of the guys who's really incredibly into gaming has called out the past 2 days from work. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
I never even thought that.
You don't think you know what he's doing?
That's
I
because
genuinely
You mean at
didn't
your
even
work,
think-
so
and my
people
work.
know what you're talking
this
about.
is like a 60-hour game. Air quotation marks on that. You can
Relatively skilled player, 60 hours.
no, even good skilled players, you may spend 3 hours on a boss.
Oh, dang.
On not even a main quest boss. There's 6 main quest bosses. There are 80 some
Can you define boss
not
for
main
me?
quest bosses.
Can you define boss for me?
So a boss would generally be a NPC that is usually larger than you are and has a large health bar at the bottom.
Gotcha.
There are like 80 bosses that are not main quest bosses.
Okay.
And like 25 of them are completely unique.
Okay. I think I might actually get into watching a few gameplays. I need to do some research because, in my opinion, the gameplay has to pair perfectly with the creator.
Yeah.
You know. But based on this, I'm actually really interested to see what this Elden Ring is like. I know I watched a few PewDiePie things because I enjoyed horror for a while.
Yeah.
Horror video games, and PewDiePie's like the king of gameplay horror. You know, he's the one that started it, made it popular, became super famous for it.
I'm telling you, give it a month and the full Elden Ring lore will be on the internet.
Okay.
There will be people who are just doing lore runs. There will be people who are just doing completely naked and have a club in their hand runs and taking literally 5 hours to beat the bosses. Just dodging perfect parries, no hit runs.
People are crazy what they
They
spend
are
their time
insane.
on.
There will be people whose only gameplay is running around looking for hidden walls.
Hidden walls.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta be honest, man. Gaming is one of the most hilarious and perfect mediums in today's world, because gaming is like not only for creatives who are a part of the design of games, but then to say like you could also be a professional gamer. A lot of people won't. A lot of people won't be a professional gamer. However, if you are bringing something good to the table and you have a strong work ethic and you really enjoy being on camera and playing games at the same time, you can become a millionaire.
I mean,
You know
I
what
would love simply writing storylines and lore for games.
Well, you're a writer.
I think it's incredible.
Look,
I've played too many video games where I'm like, this story, man. I end the video game and I'm like,
it's like in the video game, it's like, I want to create a story that couldn't work for film.
yeah.
Or couldn't work on pages.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's Elden Ring.
Yeah. And so I think I'm going to watch some gameplay, get a little feel for it.
Ooh.
Yeah, heck yeah, dude.
Oh,
That
that's
little
really
lion?
cool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen. Is that a boss?
I just got boss defined for me, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay. Is that the only picture you have? You have any
That's
more?
it. I thought that was
Aw.
super cool. If I'm being honest, like Google Images has a variety, but they're all like the what do you call the version? So it's like you see their full body. It's not first person.
Oh,
What do you call it?
yeah.
What is it?
Like a.
It's not third person, is it either?
No,
I don't know what it's called.
I don't know.
Whatever style video game is set up
Mhm.
for the Elder Ring, there's a lot of those kind of
A
images.
third person where you can see the person.
Yeah, you see the
You see
full
the
body
little
from
guy.
behind.
Yeah,
You know?
that's
The third person. Okay, there's a lot of third person images on Google Images, but
Mhm.
there's not great artwork,
Yeah.
like a ton of it, like this is. So,
Dude, the some of the things you see in this game are crazy.
They be
I-
crazy.
The story,
I know.
the story is really cool, and I think the game designer Miyazaki
Genius.
He really is a genius.
Artistic genius.
There's a dude riding a horse who is cursed, and he's been riding the horse for so long and eating like the dead bodies of soldiers for so eternity that his feet he's grown so big, his weary horse is carrying him, and it's so small compared to him. And his feet have been dragging in the sand so long they're gone.
Like they're just missing?
They're just gone, yeah. And so he's riding around this tiny little horse, this big, huge, bulky warrior. Crazy stuff.
Just wacky ideas.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to live in the world with the Elden Ring.
Me neither.
But it's super cool to let your mind wander into virtually for a while. So I'm going to definitely hit up some gameplay, especially since one of my favorite story crafters are behind the lore for this game. That's pretty much it we have on Elden Ring. So we're going to look a little bit. Now, there's not a lot released about it, but we are going to, in anticipation, and ask questions as to why we haven't seen anything come out about this.
Yeah.
We're going to look at Avatar 2.
Avatar.
But first...
Oh, Shelby. Shout out.
No Shelby. Shelby on the Patreon, y'all.
No Shelby.
Thank you for supporting the Patreon, Shelby. If you'd like to support the Patreon, you not only might get a shout out. Well, at this point, we have hardly any Patreon.
You'll
You'll definitely get a shout out. 100% on the podcast. And the good thing about this is our podcast is only going to keep getting more and more and more popular. So if you get in now, you're going to be one of the OGs. So like moving into the future, we're going to constantly shout out OGs because you've been here for you've been here. So when we have like 1 million listeners, like, you know, a successful podcast does, we're going to be shouting out your name to 1 million people.
We're also doing things like...
we might even shout, just for being an OG, we might even shout out like a small business you have to get you more sales.
Could be.
We got watch parties over there too that we're given to even the $4 tier.
Yeah.
So
you can watch the watch parties.
Listen.
You can listen.
Listen to the watch
but you
parties.
can have it up on a computer to appreciate the beautiful art.
Yeah. I was thinking
artwork for unique artwork for each of those.
There is unique. Why it's doing the artwork for that crap. Beautiful cartoon artwork. It's very, very exciting.
It's almost South Parky.
It is a little, but it's wonderful. I think it's great.
Yeah. You're
reaching into a mix between Rick and Morty and South Park and extracting some beautiful personalized Wiseworks cartoon art. I was thinking for housekeeping, you should make an audio version as well, just so people can turn their phone off, save battery, but still listen. You know?
Can still listen if you turn your phone off on the Patreon.
You can, even with unlisted YouTube videos?
Oh, I forgot that they're unlisted YouTube videos and not MP3 files.
Well, we can just upload an MP3 file. Yeah. That's what I was saying. We should do that also.
We'll work on that in the future.
Yeah. So go check out the Patreon. Links in the description. Thanks so much. Avatar 2.
Yeah.
There's been so much artwork. So much artwork from fans the past 12 years. No. 2009? 2020 is 11 years. We're getting in 13 years. Apparently.
But they're almost done with the third movie. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Okay.
But still.
How do you
12 years is a long time.
Look, I'm just going to say this.
I mean, we waited for Elden Ring. Well, I mean, you guys didn't wait.
I didn't know anything about Elden Ring until this week.
I didn't know anything about Elden Ring till about 4 years ago.
That's a long time to wait.
I mean, well, back then it was like rumors.
Well, this has been rumors
like the white whale.
This has been a rumor for 12 years, and this year, December 16th, is the scheduled release for Avatar 2. Let's really quickly place bets.
Oh no.
On if this is actually coming out December 16th.
Yeah, it will. It's done. The movie's done already.
When do we start seeing the trailers?
Okay, this is actually super interesting.
I'd have shown trailers at the Super Bowl so I could really tease people.
No, this is what I'm saying. If you have 12 years to make the movie, and during the process, you have a marketing team that's thinking about how are we releasing the marketing for Avatar 2 when it's actually about to come out, think about the complexities. Do you think they are just going to drop? Do you think they're just going to drop a trailer and say it's coming out December 16th?
Nah.
Or do you think we're going to get something crazy like there's going to be in Times Square with no warning, just like Avatar 2 countdown clock?
No,
that just shows up.
Times Square, but they'll definitely do like a Spider-Man. You know what they did for Spider-Man? How Tom Holland, they went to this.
Like
they went to Comic-Con and they did the
trailer premiere,
the countdown.
Yeah,
they might do something like that, like an event where they're doing they're showcasing movie trailers or upcoming content, and they'll do a really quick teaser thing where they'll just have a little bit of the music. They'll fade in like Avatar 2 or something, and then it'll fade out. And I think
to like
just
leave the
really,
mystery.
Yeah, really tease people on it.
Man alive. Here's the thing about.
You have the cast list up here?
The cast list is the same. It's basically the exact same as the first movie. Even.
Okay, well, I need to look this up.
I thought Tom Cruise was in this.
Did you Did you really? I don't think Tom Cruise is in
tall,
this.
He's short. I don't know.
So James Cameron, he has not one, but two movies on the top 3 highest grossing films of all time. This is kind of a tall order.
Yeah.
He said the fact, like the nature of how the second movie has not come out and rescheduled, and kind of everything that's kind of this whisper in the ether of the internet and with each other amongst friends, how it's kind of like it's a legend at this point. Avatar 2.
Yeah.
What's going on? I mean, he said that's only because Avatar, the original, made so much money.
Yeah.
That's what he literally said in an interview. So if it wasn't as successful as it was, we would have already had to.
So I do want to shed a little bit of light on the cast list. You said it was all the same people, but there's 3 people specifically I want to bring up.
Okay.
So the bad guy, Stephen Lang, the guy with the scars on his face.
From the first one who died.
Yeah, well, he's in this movie, and there's been interviews with Cameron saying that how is he in the second one? He's dead. They said it's a fictional world in outer space. We're not going to release that right now, but he's back. There's multiple ways on how we could bring him back into the story, and so he's back in the story somehow. It could be, I think, through a flashback.
You know what?
He could put him in a different body.
I'm kind of remembering something. I think at one point somebody did interview the actor, and he made a quote based on a line from the movie where he said something, I can't remember. He said, "You're not going to stop me while I'm still breathing," or whatever. You know what I mean? But he said something like, "They can't kill me while I still got DNA that exists," or whatever, something dumb like that.
So he's coming back. We know that. And then 2 other actors
I don't know
that
how
are
I
not
feel
from the
about
original
that.
cast that I want to shed some light on is Kate Winslet.
Okay.
She's going to be in the second one. That's already been announced. And then someone that's all about family.
No,
Vin Diesel's
in this?
casted for Avatar 2. I don't know what he's going to play, but
clearly he's going to play one of the bald-headed human white
Marines?
guys who are trying to destroy the land of Pandora. Clearly.
I don't know if that's
just what you guys are.
maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
He's definitely going to play a villain.
But
you don't
it's
cast
all
Vin
about
Diesel
them.
to
All about
play
family.
a freaking,
Yeah. And if he's the main villain, I'm going to be really upset.
That will be
I'm going to
upsetting.
be really upset because the
I
guy
think
who played the main villain before.
Steven is probably going to be the main villain, and I think Vin Diesel is going to be. He might not even be a bad guy. He might be just like a Marine.
Yeah.
What's Marine? Always Marine.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
All right, so there's some concept
so
art.
You don't like the Vin Diesel. You don't like
I
Vin
don't
Diesel
care for the Vin Diesel thing.
But he's in it.
But also it's mostly the same cast.
Yeah, for the most part.
I believe so. The basic idea for episode film 2. That if you're not familiar, it's going to continue into this concept of the Earth needs to be protected. There are people trying to mine and ultimately do things that will harm the Earth. Pandora. And this is going to be focused on family between Nateri and Jake. Jake Sully. Jake
Wait,
Sully.
did you say family?
It is about family, actually, because they're going to have children. Family. They're going to have some little baby.
That's not confirmed.
Little baby Nateri and Jake's.
But we don't know.
Actually, most of the articles that I read have confirmed it. So I feel like the creators, I'm pretty sure the creators have confirmed
There's
it.
probably enough whispers. There might be some little baby.
Like Screen Rant wrote about it as a fact.
Yeah, they write about a lot of things as fact.
I know, but there was, and I cross-referenced it with like 2 other articles said the same thing. I believe they're going to have like 3 kids, and I think they actually had names for them already. They released to the public.
Oh, interesting.
This is going to be focused on the ocean. It's going to be the waters and the ocean of the Pandora world. They have to flee the tree, the home of this particular tribe, and they're going to go to a different part of the world that we haven't seen yet in the film.
Is this a coincidence that Mr. Beast is doing Team C's this year?
It's not. It's him and James, man. They got together. Team C's for days. What if like Jake goes like, shouts out, Team C's.
No. If that's a thing, I'm gonna
be very
like subtly, like without realizing it. Only fans would notice.
Here's I'm looking forward to the movie immensely, and I'm hoping that it's going to be very good. But I'm almost looking forward to just as much, if not more, the behind the scenes.
Yeah,
because
we want to know what's going on the past 13 years.
Yeah, and are they sticking with the tech that they were using? Of course, technology advances, but
it's still apparently motion capture like the first one.
But it would be really cool if they were using the
volume,
the LED,
the volume,
volume stuff
with stagecraft. I don't think they are doing that. I think they're pretty much done.
Yeah,
I think they're pretty much done with production as stagecraft is coming into existence.
Yeah.
So I think it's all still. The thing is, like when it comes to Avatar, using stagecraft doesn't really make what they're doing better. Just makes it more interesting.
I think you could enhance some of the scenes or make some scenes easier to film.
Oh, definitely easier to film, but I think they've already had their process and they're sticking with it. But yes, you're right. The behind the scenes are going to be wild, and I'm super excited to see what they've been working on. What's new from the first film that we're going to see in this next one?
I remember finishing the first movie, and I was like, "Whoa, that was so crazy! I need another fix. Somebody help me! I want to see so much more of this world."
And then I was like, "Not for another 13 years."
Yeah, I was like. Avatar gonna be coming out soon. It's too big of a movie for them not to do another one. And then they confirmed that they were making another
2013, 2014.
I was like, yeah.
Here it comes.
And I was like, all right, yeah. They keep saying it, but where's it at?
I'm starting to get the feeling it actually has not been filmed at all.
Yeah.
And they can't get the cast back or something.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but
here's the thing. When it comes down to it, we don't have a lot of information about this outside of what I just said, right? There's a few other details that we're not going to bring up that's just kind of hearsay. All of it is kind of left up to, theory. I did hear that
fan art.
This is really cool.
I did hear that. I don't know that this is fan art.
Oh, really?
20th Century Studios.
Oh, this is really cool looking.
I heard that the setting, the vibe of this more ocean beach style Avatar is going to be like Bora Bora Tropical times 100.
Okay.
So much more interesting.
Yeah, I'm all in for the setting, and I really hope there's a good story to match. I hope that Quaritch doesn't show up and be like, I'm his twin.
Do you think
you're a twin? I'm a twin as well, and nobody knew. And I'm also a colonel.
Yeah, that would be bad if he was a twin.
Holy crap! This is from the movie.
No, this is really low quality animation. Look at that. You can see the pixels.
Yeah.
This is really low quality concept animated art. This is not from the movie. If it looks like this, I'm going to.
There's the thing called rendering.
No.
This isn't fully rendered.
I'm telling you, this is not from the movie.
No, it's not. It's not.
It could be though.
I think there might be something similar to this.
You know what this also could be from? Spider-Man: No Way Home.
It could be. I'm saying that it could be from 20th century, couldn't it?
I mean, it very well could be concept animation from 20th century.
This looks like it could be from. I know it's not because there's a signature at the bottom, but this literally could be from the movie.
I mean, the setting might be similar.
I'm not saying that this is from the movie. I'm saying this absolutely 100% looks like
it could be
what the movie could look like.
I heard a quote in an article that apparently James Cameron said, and he said he's leaning into the interest that the public had about the floating mountains from the first movie.
Everybody loved the floating mountains.
And he's not necessarily making floating mountains again, but he's saying he's taking ideas about the floating mountains. Rivers? Well, he's applying it to the ocean atmosphere. Okay. So I don't know what that's going to look like.
So we're going to see some other like really impressive wonder of this world.
Yes, there's gonna be a breathtaking wonder of, it's not just gonna be beach, ocean, cool islands. It's gonna be something about this is unique that we probably haven't seen before.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that.
Cool.
You think you could survive on Pandora?
Oh heck no. No, not at all. We definitely couldn't survive Pandora. You know how dangerous it is?
Everything. I mean, as long as you got shelter to get away at night, I think that's your biggest thing.
Jake could barely survive in an avatar
body.
Imagine us being out there with our freaking helmets, and then a big giant creature that is still bigger than an avatar, which are like 5 times the size of a regular person.
Yeah, but that's what the story is. They're saying there's a lot of beauty on Pandora. Yeah, it's not all just evil.
Yeah, but everything that crawls, flies, and squats in the mud wants to kill you and eat your eyes with juju beads.
Pandora is based around evolutionary theory. And so everything breathes and works together and survives because it eats each other.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So it means it lives because of the plants. Like the plants live because of the predators. The predators live because of the earth.
It's an ecosystem.
It's an ecosystem. It's a greenhouse. It's bacteria.
It's bacteria.
It's bacteria in large scale. But that makes for a very kill or be killed environment.
I just was imagining Vin Diesel as an avatar, like a blue Vin Diesel, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to see that.
When you say like, you know, the environment is very dangerous, but you know the Na'vi have. I mean, I think he mentions in the briefing that they have bones that are reinforced with naturally occurring carbon fiber, so they're very, very strong and very difficult to kill.
Yeah,
and that would reflect the environment. Everything is hard to kill.
Yes. Everything on Pandora
compared to a human,
literally everything on Pandora is trying to make you earth fertilizer so the earth keeps going. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
but
the only way to not become fertilizer is to become top dog, essentially.
I'm already
Taruk Matel. I got you.
Honestly, that's all we have about Avatar, and most of it's based around us saying we think it's we choose to believe them because it's what we want.
It's what we want to believe.
But
we do believe.
Do we have any proof outside of some articles here and there? Not really.
I think
an official release date.
Even if they pushed it,
it's coming out this year. Make a bet. Right, whoever loses, if it doesn't come out, then whenever it does, you're gonna have to buy a ticket.
I think it'll come out, but because it's taken so long, I'll buy your ticket if it comes out, I'll buy your ticket. Okay. If it doesn't come out, you have to buy my ticket later when it does come out.
Yeah.
I thought Josh was on the side of it's coming out this year.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If it comes out in
this
December
year.
16th, I will buy his ticket.
Okay.
Since I won the last one, what was that for?
Spider-Man.
Since I won about Spider-Man, I will secede and say, okay, I'm going to say it might not come out December 16th.
Oh, I'm saying in 2022 it'll come out.
Yeah.
Can I
Watch
say
there
that?
tonight after we finish recording, there's a trailer or something crazy.
That would be awful
That would be-
on like March 2nd.
They got to start promoting it at some point.
Hey, it's not just March 2nd. It is. Well, I guess everybody knows we're recording March 2nd now. It's Ash
Wednesday.
What does that even mean? I don't know what
It's,
that is. I don't mean to be ignorant.
It's a Protestant and Catholic tradition for a variety of things.
Okay.
It's a religious practice.
You don't know.
I don't know.
If I'm being really honest, I don't know a lot about
I don't
Ash
either.
Wednesday.
There's a lot about Ash Wednesday and Lent
Is it
and
where
things.
you get your ashes and you
You do put ash on your
sprinkle them
forehead.
in your tea?
No.
Not in your tea.
Oh.
I think
You
it's
put them on your forehead. You do a little cross.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's all I hear about Ash Wednesday is like I'll say like
Is that where
what
you
like Ash
heal up
Wednesday,
your ashy
yeah, let's
elbows?
acknowledge Ash Wednesday, and they're like, yeah, man, dust to dust, and it's like, what does that mean?
Uh-huh.
is it like
Dust
when
to
your
dust.
ash is when you get
When
rid
you're
of the ashy elbows?
You're real ashy.
And when
You're
they-
real ashy.
And when they say put ash to ash, you're just like touching
You know
elbows.
Ugh.
Ash to ash.
Yeah. I'm not versed enough in Ash Wednesday to give like an accurate.
We didn't grow up in denominations
Yeah.
that really pushed Ash Wednesday,
Right.
or just Lent at all.
I think I did real quick before we move on from Avatar. If it's pushed back and it doesn't come out in December, let's say it comes out in January or February, I'd still be happy.
No,
As long as it still came out within that time frame.
Within breathing time.
What big film do we have in December come out so far? December's the prime spot.
It really is. It's a good spot.
And we don't have anything else that's going to take the place, so it has to be Avatar.
Maybe that's why they pushed it. They're like, we're putting the reins on December 2022.
Mhm.
Nobody else is allowed to come out with a big movie that year.
Oh, no, they won't, because
No.
nobody's going to want to put their movie in the
No
theater
studio in their
next
right
to
mind is going to do
Avatar.
No.
that. I just had a really dark thought.
Oh,
May I
no.
share it?
No.
Sure. Think about all of the people that their favorite movie was Avatar.
Oh no. And they didn't get to live to see the next one?
Yes.
Because of COVID?
Maybe, but just
But it's been
because
12
it's
years?
been 12 years, a lot
Yeah.
of people died between here and 2009.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
A
Why you
lot
gotta-
of people died.
Well, you always got to bring us to dark
I
places.
just said I had a dark thought. May I share? And you said, "Yeah, sure." The dark
No,
thought.
I said no. I said no.
I thought
I
it
said
was
no.
going to be like...
I warned you. I said it's a dark thought. May I share it? And you said yes.
When do you think they're going to come out with Ready Player 2?
If you create any kind of content online, you know that it's a serious headache to find music that works, especially on YouTube. That's not going to get copyright claimed or is even going to allow you to post the video. I mean, literally, YouTube will block your video if a company has a copyright claim on certain music. So the best way to do that is to subscribe to a copyright-free public access subscription site. And the one that we use, the one that I think personally is the best one out there, is Soundstripe. I've used it for 3 to 4 years now, and all of the content we create at Wiseworks uses this music from their library. You can sign up month to month, or you can pay annually, and if you use the link in the description and use promo code WiseWorks10 at checkout, you will get 10% off your first purchase, whether that's a month or a full year. It's extremely beneficial. So take advantage of that if you are creating content or commercial work or anything like that for online use, and enjoy the endless and multiple genre style music library that they have for you to take advantage of. So let's go ahead and get back to the podcast.
It's already a book.
2030.
It's already
I hope.
published
Yeah,
book.
hopefully 2000 and never.
No, you know in the back of your mind, you're like, I kind of want to see it.
I kinda
I
wanna
kind of want to see Ready Player 2,
Yeah.
but I don't want to watch it with your butt
Yeah, why not?
because you're going to be like, you're going to be rocking back and forth.
This is the best movie I've ever seen. World in the world. I've been waiting for this.
And your voice will be cracking just like that.
This makes me so happy.
I've never seen a better movie.
And it's like, this is literally the same as Player One. It's literally the same film.
No, I've already read the book. It's not exactly.
Not exactly, but similar.
Ending.
No, it's actually a lot different.
How does it end? The ending on the first one
Scooby-Doo.
got me. I didn't care for it.
Scooby-Doo ending.
So no, it's more of, it's almost kind of like the tale of like a rock star after they're famous, because it's following Wade after he has become literally
The owner.
the most
The man.
famous person on earth.
Okay.
And
So
he's only
he's
like
gotten into drugs.
early 20s.
He's had all the women he could possibly desire.
Booze.
He's all dried up.
No, he's in his early 20s and he's
dried up.
gotten this. He's become the most famous person on earth, just
Okay.
like instantaneously.
Even his freaking avatar is dried up.
Yeah. What's next?
Yeah, what is next?
So we're actually going to take some time and kind of finish off, but we're not close to the end yet. We're going to finish off by talking a little bit more about Dune because it was the movie of last year. What the heck? Dune is awesome. And it's going to be awesome for the next 6 years because it's going to be hot.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hot.
I think
for a while.
2024, they're coming out with part 2.
Mm-hmm.
So we have all of next year to just dive into part 1 as much as possible, okay? And so we're going to continue this. Although it's not trending, we're going to continue getting into Dune stuff. So the cool thing about Dune, this is the soundtrack cover. What?
I'm sorry. You're just talking so fast.
Yeah.
Sorry. I saw your faces. I'm trying to react to information.
Let's take 2 steps back.
Okay.
Dive into Dune. Me and Wyatt were watching, as you do on a Sunday afternoon, Godzilla.
Yeah.
That's a perfect dive. You know what I'm talking about?
You're doing a deep cut reference here.
A deep cut.
The Matthew Broderick Godzilla, which is very despised amongst fans, and on Rotten Tomatoes for some reason.
Never seen it.
And you guys enjoyed it?
I have always enjoyed it.
I haven't seen it yet. Why'd you guys watch it without
I've
me?
always enjoyed it.
Because you're married.
There is one shot in particular where Godzilla's running through the city, jumps over a bunch of military personnel and into the in this perfect dive. Looks
It's
so
like
cool.
Yeah,
giant
he's had
Godzilla?
millions of years to
No, he
perfect that
hasn't.
dive. How long
No.
has Godzilla been around?
This Godzilla,
yeah.
this Godzilla,
Different rendition.
Yeah,
This was a young Godzilla. It was like it was in his DNA then, probably.
it was chemical. It was from nuclear fallout.
And it created a Godzilla?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
It's a little fun fact that we're nerds, not just on this podcast, but outside the podcast too.
Yeah,
Well,
Dune.
everybody knows that.
yeah.
We wouldn't be here making a podcast with 250 episodes about movies if we weren't nerds.
Right.
So,
I mean, a Sunday afternoon is watching Godzilla.
I prefer the term geek. Rhett and Link distinguished between the two.
Mm.
Go back and watch Epic Rap Battle of not manliness. Geek versus nerd epic rap battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hear the distinction. We prefer geek here.
What?
We're sticking with it.
I don't know. I like nerd. Personally,
nerd
I like
is like computer coders.
Yeah.
IT guys.
geek.
Geek is the guys who go to Comic-Con.
I've never been to Comic-Con.
I've always heard it both ways.
We should go to Comic-Con.
Listen to Rhett and Link's Geek versus Nerd epic rap battle.
I think you can be both.
Look, on a Patreon post, we'll watch it and we'll distinguish.
Mhm.
I think they broke it down perfectly.
I think somebody who really loves playing technical video games is a geek, but somebody who likes to get into the lore, that's a nerd.
I think it's the opposite.
I don't think so.
No, I agree with Wyatt on this.
Nah.
What about Dune?
They put out some behind the scenes kind of short form content
Mhm.
about the Hans Zimmer talking about the creation of the soundtrack. So the auditory world of Dune as we know it in the modern storytelling version.
Mhm.
If we don't get through the whole thing, it's fine. We'll pause. If you want to make comments, stop it, and we'll talk. Okay. We're gonna start with music.
What?
All right.
That's Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer. You don't think that smile is pleasant?
No.
It's satisfying.
That smile is perfect. Stop laughing at him.
I think
Cough away from the microphone.
I think you secretly are extremely prejudiced against people who look different from you.
I don't know. That's pretty close to Joshua.
Dang.
Look, I think that's a very pleasant
I
face.
just couldn't breathe for a minute.
This is the thumbnail
just
for the
like,
video. This
This
is the thumbnail for the video. If that doesn't make you happy, I can't
Yeah.
tell you what does.
Okay.
All right. That is
Let's watch
extreme.
the video.
That. Let's just start watching it. We'll pause it as we have thoughts. Okay.
When I decided to do Dune, I wanted really to create a new soundscape, and I was in need of a
Denis
composer.
Villeneuve.
I asked Hans Zimmer if he knew Dune, the book, and Hans' answer was that it was probably one of his favorite book of all time, and it was one of his biggest dreams to score Dune. So his answer was a big yes.
A big yes.
It was
Cool.
always more about the conversation because I knew the book so well. She knew the book so well. We knew our subject. So
Just
now
real quick,
Mm.
listen to the music they're playing behind this intro. It's just like it's lower, so you don't notice it, but it's a woman going. Ah! Just keep listening.
was figuring out how we were going to interpret something that we truly loved and admired.
Cool.
and Denis work very closely together. Part of what I love about the score is how unfamiliar it is. It's incredibly exotic, it's emotional, it's intense, it is wholly original and very specific to the film.
We're telling a story in multi-dimensional ways, and we're using
That's
voices
beautiful.
and
Mhm.
language that you don't understand, and at the same time,
Even
somehow
that's beautiful.
You understand it emotionally.
That kind of still ship, just with the camera movements and whatnot. It's almost eerie.
Tons of experience. He created even instruments. He kept saying to me, that music is not from our world. It needs to come from another time, another planet. Those sounds cannot have been heard before.
Is that what Ash Wednesday is?
No. No.
I think it's super interesting at this point where it was almost prompted by Hans,
Mm.
and it was obviously a goal of his to do Dune, but it's also interesting that because this was such a big deal and because the director Villeneuve, correct?
Denis Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve?
Yeah.
Or Denis Villeneuve?
It's Denis.
Denis.
Yeah.
It's French.
He's French.
They wanted to create an otherworldly sound because we look at otherworld stories, even like Avatar that we just talked about. It's got that tribal vibe, you
Mhm.
know. You look at Star Wars, it's got that symphony vibe, that
Yeah.
classic,
Mhm.
John Williams. Did John Williams not do Star Wars?
John Williams did do Star Wars, but I wouldn't say it's symphony. I think it's more of symphony. The trumpets are very heavy in Star Wars.
Symphony.
Yeah. I mean, but
What did I say?
you said symphony.
That's part of a symphony.
Well, yeah, but I think
So is this?
trumpet.
So is the big
Yes, but-
tuba, the violins.
You grabbed my leg a second ago.
You said, did John Williams do Star Wars?
No, I knew he did it. I literally knew he did it because like last week I saw
It's all in there.
him conduct.
John?
Yeah. Oh,
So
a Facebook
in-
video of him conducting a symphony for all of his major hits. And when I said John Williams, Joshua went like, So I
Well,
just corrected myself.
Did you?
Yeah, that's a violin. Did you not see violins in the orchestra?
I feel like we're this.
All right, one person thinks strings and the other person thinks breasts. Fine, they're all in the orchestra.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely do think.
They're all in the orchestra. Look
can
at
do
look
this
at the
and
orchestra for Star Wars. It's all the
I'm
instruments.
only thinking.
The brass stuff.
Always. You're always thinking brass.
I think it's interesting though. He's not trying to create new sounds that we're not familiar with. He's thinking about it in a way it's like people in the future are going to have different instruments
and different ways of crafting music.
And different ways of crafting music, so it needs to feel unfamiliar to us.
Yeah,
that's
completely
really cool
unfamiliar. And this is an extra step. This is why I think Dune, these movies are going to be such a big deal. Because anyone could grab Dune the story and make it just kind of formatted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get together super creative, inspiring storytellers that we probably haven't seen much since Peter Jackson, and put them on a big story like this. They're going to make a world that becomes an icon. Like, we think J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. We also equate that with Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. We're not going to equate anything with, I don't even know, Amazon Prime, Lord of the Rings. I don't care how good or bad that is. We're not going to say that's super memorable. That's just a fact. Yeah. This is going to be Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Dune. You know what I mean? That's going to be what this is remembered as. And this is literally the biggest franchise of the next 5 to 10 years.
I think it's the biggest, like, art piece franchise.
Yeah, that's true. It may not make the most money, but it's going to become the most beloved by the geeks and nerds.
Yeah.
The same way Lord of the Rings was.
The real question is there going to be a nose flute? Is there a nose flute?
Was there when was there a nose flute?
Oh, I was just asking, is there a nose flute?
I remember a nose flute from something.
Maranatha, do you remember?
I wasn't a part of this joke.
Okay, you were part of the original joke. To give people context, way back when we were wee little croutons, there was a whole joke of this guy coming and playing a nose flute.
He played a flute with his nose. There's a big difference.
Oh yeah. It was a instrument. Yeah.
And we showed up at Maranatha over the summer, and this same guy showed up. Didn't have his nose flute, but he was there.
He also played the lyre as well.
No, yeah, he played the dulcimer. Dulcimer is what he was playing.
All right,
Maranatha, but
let's keep going. See if a nose flute is introduced.
I don't think so.
Sounds, making instruments, getting people to learn how to play instruments in a different way.
With your nose.
The one thing that we felt would be true through any culture would be the voice. So the score is based on mainly female voices, and then we developed our own language. We had
These geeky women in the studio.
I don't think these are geeky women. I think they're women. I think they're women that
they're women who work.
Wow.
I think they're women whose careers are singing for movies and shows.
That's true, but you don't think they're fans?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Probably.
That makes them a geeky
but
woman.
It doesn't.
If we're called a geek,
you don't have to be a fan to do this job.
No, you don't. But you don't think they're passionate about this? You heard those soundtracks.
I think you're. I think you're getting this strange, weird, amorphous idea that everybody involved in this movie is a huge Dune nerd. I don't think that's the case. I think
not everyone. Like, I don't think the production
just like 99% of the people.
I don't even think Greg Fraser is a huge Dune nerd.
He may not be.
I don't think he is.
But he's a huge movie nerd. He likes making movies.
I don't think he's a huge movie nerd either. I've listened to Greg Fraser on interviews.
He's a huge movie geek. He likes making movies.
No, I think he's super interested in lighting and composition. And he's one of the top people in the industry right now. So he's going to make cool films. And so the people that are making some of the coolest films are getting him on board.
Right. He likes the technical stuff. It doesn't make him a nerd
visual
about
arts.
The lore.
He's painting pictures.
Yeah.
Digitally.
I just think it was weird for you to say all these women are nerds and geeks about this.
I like to look at these women and think, yeah, they love Dune.
All right.
The amount of passion they put into their work. Look, they're putting their vocal cords passion into this work.
Yeah, you're right. All right. Let's keep going.
Studio time, lifestyle, editing together.
Dude, this guy's just such nerds about Dune.
If you surround yourself with incredibly brave, reckless, and talented people, they'll lead you into new directions automatically. I always know we're on the right path when somebody goes, "This might be the worst idea you've ever heard."
And spent months defining sounds, creating new sounds, searching, pushing the envelope to be reflected, and doing tons of experiments and crazy experiments with crazy instruments. It's quite a privilege for me to work with such an artist. One of the most inspiring and powerful artistic encounter in my life is the one with Hans Zimmer. So to have the chance to work with him on Dune is like one of the big privileges of my life.
How long is this video?
I think it's almost done. Come with us on this journey to this planet and to this world, which seems huge and vast and fathomable, and then at the same time realize that it's all about the smallest and tiniest emotion. Just like the desert is made up of grains of sand, and the music is just made up of grains of notes. So rather than it being a massive blanket of sound, this is different. This is moving emotion.
This is saying a lot, but I think it's one of the best scores that Hans has ever written. It really kind of touches you inside. It makes you feel something.
Cool.
Yeah. I think there's something to that. I really would love to see. Well, I wish I knew French because I want to hear Denis talk about this movie in his own language, so that he can get more complex. Because it's obviously he has broken English, which is a little bit for us English-speaking folk. It takes away from the context. It takes away from the depth that he.
Well,
thinks
you know that
things.
in his own language, he would be able to really put the kind of passion into what he's saying.
And speak it clearly. Whereas, like for us, we see, a multitude of words to describe something can show the amount of thought you've put into it. However, since he has broken English, you can't grab that as
I wouldn't
much.
say he has broken English. He has an accent, but he didn't have broken English.
No, yeah.
His grammar's correct. You're right.
Yeah.
His grammar's correct. Since he has an accent, and probably since he doesn't use certain English words, they don't come to his mind like they do a natural English speaker or people that's been speaking it for a long time. I would love to be able to speak French or understand French so I can hear him explain his thoughts about this movie in his own language, because I think he's such a genius. I really do think
have
he's
you
a
seen
genius.
Blade Runner 2040 something?
I haven't seen it yet, and I know.
Is that his movie?
Yeah.
Oh.
He directed this with
we tried watching.
We were looking for it.
I want to watch it very badly. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Maybe I'll learn French someday.
Maybe,
and I'll be able to hear it.
Well, you can. I don't know where I was going with that thought.
Croissant.
Do you guys enjoy croissants?
I love croissants.
I love a good croissant.
Why are you bringing up food? I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, when it comes to croissants, they are middle ground for me. I will.
Out of the bread family, croissants are on my top.
Out of the bread family, a freaking buttered roll is at the top for me.
Sourdough bread.
I didn't like sourdough till recently.
It's not bad, but it's not my
Josh,
favorite.
it's not sour. It's not actually sour.
Do you think they?
I know what sourdough
Do you
is.
think they eat a lot of bread on Dune?
Probably.
It seems kind of like a dry
No.
food to eat on Dune.
They don't have a lot of grains.
That's true. They don't have a lot of nothing.
Yeah. They don't have a lot of nothing.
They have to import everything.
Right.
Or they're eating freaking spice for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that's like? Imagine just
They
tripping
say
out all the time.
It's not tripping out all the time.
What is spice for dinner like?
They say it tastes different. Sometimes almost tastes different with every meal.
Is it kind of like doing the
I
cinnamon
remember
challenge?
you did tell me that.
No, they say it's kind of spice.
Like
It's
it's
kind of
because-
cinnamon. I always imagined it kind of somewhere falling between a sweet, a spicy, and a cinnamony.
I always felt it land somewhere in the Cajun realm.
Well, I guess I sort of thought there were like maybe hints of cinnamon or sweetness.
I think like savory spice. Spicy.
Well, they say it tastes different. It can
Changes things?
It changes.
At times, it might taste like kiwi fruits.
Could be. No. What are you talking?
Maybe.
Let's move on.
It's got that acidity.
I don't think it's got the acidity.
It might, though.
What's our next thing?
The next thing is terrible tier, man.
Okay.
So Joshua's got terrible tier this year, or this year,
This year.
this evening, this episode.
So you kind of teed me up last week by saying
Okay.
that you had one, you didn't pick it.
No, it was during a meeting. That was not on the podcast.
I know, yeah, but it was after the podcast.
Okay.
You said you were gonna pick one, you didn't because you wanted us to pick one. Pick it.
I wanted to leave it for you.
You want to leave it. So I'm looking through the movies, looking, and I had a couple, but they weren't solid enough picks. So I'm gonna do a legend in movie dirty tonight.
Wait, a legend in movie dirty? What does that mean?
You know,
A
Dirty
legend.
Harry.
A legend in the movie world,
Yeah.
dirty.
Okay,
By
that
putting
makes
him on
more
the
grammatical sense.
why mess me up by going like this?
I know.
He's like, what'd you get? Josh was always twisting his finger around at times.
Just go to the slide.
Cry macho.
Yeah.
You, I would say we did a whole episode talking about this.
We did a whole episode.
If you want extensive thoughts. However, Joshua didn't talk a whole lot in that episode. You tended, in this episode, if I recall, to be a little more quiet. What are your thoughts since you put this on your list? I want to know your synopsis.
I'm a really big fan of Clint Eastwood, but he's gotten too old. There's a reason why you either just direct and you don't act, or you just retire. You don't have to retire, but you just don't make yourself the main role, because it was a lot of him riding on a horse, but clearly it's a stunt guy, and him walking very slow.
Yeah.
I remember one point that was supposed to be the climax of his emotions, where he's really pissed off, and it wasn't convincing.
Yeah,
he's a little too old to get really angry about anything.
Yeah. I mean, and we go into a full
breakdown.
dive into this, but
absolutely.
I mean, you're absolutely right. It was just not good.
It's just across the board.
I don't know where it would sit on the overall tier list.
It's kind of like eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with just peanut butter.
Yeah, that can be good though.
I enjoy a peanut butter only sandwich. You ever
like-
had a peanut butter spoon? Yeah, that's all you do.
Josh
And
walked in
sometimes
on
it's
me
fun.
eating a peanut butter spoon the other night.
You did.
I was just like, and I look over.
See, I feel like this is like we have interesting nights, but then there's like 10% of the roommate relationship that I walk in and why it's got something weird while he's on the couch late at night.
Okay, what's the weirdest thing you ever walked in on Wyatt?
The blue cheese.
Blue cheese.
We talked about this already. The blue cheese.
Remind the audience. They don't. Keep up that close.
Josh was in
pretty
his
new.
room, and I was on the couch, and we had a thing of blue cheese, and I was like, we are not going to use this for anything.
Mhm.
So I
don't eat blue cheese.
Yeah,
Your
he
blue
doesn't
cheese.
eat blue
It was
cheese.
your blue cheese.
And I was like, I'm not
I
going
eat blue cheese.
to throw this on anything. So I was like, all right, I'll just eat it,
With my
And
fingers.
you know how it is. I'll just eat it. And, it's the crumbly kind, so you got to get in there. And you really got
And it's weird to eat cheese off a spoon.
You got to.
Ugh.
So I walk in on Wyatt.
Yeah,
This
it would have been even more weird if I was dipping into a spoon. So he walks in, and I'm like, I think I was under some covers.
Well, you were under some covers because you weren't just eating blue cheese.
Yeah.
So it's like, imagine, let me get the setting. Late at night, like 10 or later.
Wyatt's naked.
No, he's not
No.
naked, but he's in his boxers and a t-shirt. He's almost Winnie the Pooh in it.
Yeah, almost.
You're
On the
about
couch,
20% from Winnie the Pooh.
eating blue cheese. Like,
Okay.
not even watching a show, just like staring into space. It's not like
I was watching something, definitely. I wouldn't have just been sitting on the couch eating blue cheese, but like without watching.
On your phone?
Yeah, I was probably on my phone watching something. He walked in, and I kind of pushed the blue cheese under the covers where he couldn't see, and he sat down. I don't think it was as late as you'd think.
It might have not.
Because you sat down and you were on your phone, or you pulled up your laptop, and I was just like, "You chilling in here?" And you're like, "Yeah. I'm not going to bed for a while." I was like, "All right, then I'll just I pulled back the covers. I'm like, I'm sitting here eating blue cheese, and I will not apologize for it.
Let me ask you, how hard did you laugh, or were you just disgusted in that?
Jack probably hit me with a.
Most of the time, I'm just like, what the heck?
Yeah,
I've been like,
I freaking enjoy a blue cheese. Now I don't know if I would be like,
no.
Let me eat it by the container full, and I wouldn't. I'm not a big fan
container full.
You eat it by the container full. What are you talking about?
I eat it by the block.
One of those little round things.
I eat it by the block.
I eat it by the block as well.
But the thing is, if I have a container of blue cheese, I don't know the appropriate way because I don't like finger foods that require
crumble blue cheese goes on like burgers and stuff.
Yeah. I know the appropriate use of it. I'm just saying if you're just gonna eat the blue cheese by itself and you get the crumble, it's the right consistency, but the transportation system is off. Yeah. Because for me, I'm like
cracker.
I don't. Yeah, if you have a cracker, perfect scenario. You don't have a cracker, you just have the blue cheese, and you have a hankering for that bitter.
Hankering for that bitter?
Yeah. So you got to use
not
your fingers.
bitter. It's incredibly rich.
Rich is a better word, but it's a bitter rich.
Okay, I'll give you
It's the bitterest cheese on the market.
Are we done? Should we plug some stuff and then we can get back to the blue cheese?
I don't care.
Okay.
We're cutting each other off a lot tonight.
Okay. We are.
I thought we were fading out.
I don't want one of our cameras to die.
We have plenty of time.
I legit thought we were fading out there. I was like, oh, we're talking about blue cheese. No, we're gonna fade out.
I think we're now fading out.
I think we're fading out, definitely.
But what I'm saying is you can't use a spoon for blue cheese because it's gonna smear. It's gonna become weird. You don't keep putting that in your mouth once you get smeared blue cheese. And you don't want to use any kind of utensil. It does the same thing. And the fingers are weird. You can use them, but if you put them in, then you have to like lick your fingers. And I'm not a licker.
Yeah.
Don't gag on camera. Don't gag in the mic. People are gonna throw up. People are sympathetic gaggers. Have you seen?
Well, I thought we were done.
Have you seen?
Are we done? Did we say
no? We're not.
We say goodnight to the. Hey, thank you guys for watching.
Have you guys seen videos of sympathetic gaggers?
Yes. Yeah, there's this one guy, he'll be filming, I don't know if it was his girlfriend or his sister.
I've seen the same
and
thing.
he's like, hey. And she turns to the corner and he goes, ugh, and she goes,
no, no, don't do that to me. It's so funny.
I don't gag at a lot of things except for we all know this one video